You know what? It's party time, Mom.
I mean, I'm feeling it.
Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. I just, look at that name over my shoulder right there, Mark. I was looking at the show the other day, and I was like, look how far we've come. From being in the old Studio 22 where it was 97 degrees every time we walked in the door with a styrofoam swamp cooler puppet master. You remember those days? Glenn Beck came, sat on one show, and he said, we got to get you out of here.
Like, let's get Tim on it.
Next day, the AC was working. That's amazing.
The next week, we...
Yeah, Mark, Candace, we have been through some things over the years. How many episodes are we in now? 400 and something? 412? Goodness sakes.
Jeez.
Lisa Page.
I wasn't around before
No.
in the old studio, but
No.
from what you guys say and describe
It was hard
about it,
knocks.
I'm glad I wasn't.
It was hard knocks, let me just tell you.
Yeah.
We did some suffering.
It was ghetto.
Yeah, we did some
Little
suffering
bit.
in there. Well, it was just rough. I mean, you know, it was kind of fun. I'm glad we went through it, but I'm also glad we got done with it.
Yeah.
Because the old Studio 22, those of you, those were interesting shows. That's back when we were off the rails. Seriously, Candace.
Every day felt like we were filming in downtown Baghdad. It was just so hot. It was not.
Baghdad.
Do you feel like we could get away with more stuff over there?
We could get away with more stuff because and people used to get mad. They were like, "Oh, you just get drunk on your show," and I was like, "You damn right. If you had to live through what we went through, it drove us to drink."
It was really that hot?
100 degrees.
Every
It was hot.
day?
Oh yeah. You know how hot it is in the Texas summer heat.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
There was no AC.
You know how hot Stu's dressing room is? Because he keeps a heater going in there all the time. I stopped in to say hi this morning.
Was Stu in there?
Yeah, he was in there.
He's toasting. Yeah, he
said-
likes to toast.
He said like one word.
Yeah.
But he's
Stu
best
doesn't
bud.
say a lot.
We're best buds now,
No.
so
Yeah.
it's all good.
Get him drinking.
Put a mic in front of him, he'll talk.
He'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he that way at home?
I've had to talk to him a couple times when we've gone out with other couples. I'm like, you do need to actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
I like to talk, but I can't carry the entire conversation for the entire night.
I call BS. I bet you can carry
I mean,
the
I
conversation.
can.
Okay.
I can, but I shouldn't have to. Candace
I mean, we all
and Mark,
can.
just communicate. Okay, Mark, speak up. Don't let her be doing the hard work, the heavy lifting when you're out on little double dates.
Gosh.
Okay?
I'm just gonna have
What
you call
would
T.
be your biggest marriage advice? This is a Thursday free-for-all. What would be your biggest marriage advice?
Obviously communication is a big deal.
Yeah.
But also, if you have kids, don't ever let them sleep with you guys. Ever.
Ever.
The only time my kids sleep with me is if Stu's out of town, and this is like a somewhat new deal, like in the last year or two. But we've never, ever, even when they've been sick, when they were little babies, we never did that because I just know too many people that have done that, and all of a sudden, like, they're no longer, and it affects your marriage if you're not sleeping with your husband every single night and you got the kids in between you,
Yeah.
and then someone's on the couch. And I've been listening to a lot of Dr. Laura, so I know.
Dr. Laura.
Dr. Laura. But I think communication and date nights, and not feeling guilty to. I could give you a list. I could give you a list of things now that we're getting going. Date nights every week. Book babysitters. Get your in-laws, somebody, and go out. And don't worry about the kids every single second.
Yeah. And don't put the kids first.
No, I always say marriage, then kids.
Yeah.
Because
It's hard.
It is.
But you got to do it.
Yeah.
Steve, advice?
I don't have any advice, but I'm
Good.
pretty good at it. I'm fixing to celebrate 20 years.
I mean, yeah, he's been married forever.
This time.
This time.
Yeah.
It's like I asked John Rich talking about Big Kenny. I said, Big and Rich, I said, how have you guys maintained 20 years as a group? And John was about half in the bag. We'd been drinking whiskey all day. He turns around in the car and he looks at me and he goes, you know what it's like to be married for 20 years? And I was like, no, actually I don't. 2 marriages and none of them lasted 20 years at this point. And I said, he goes, that's right, you don't know. And I said, well, the difference is you can't, and I used a certain word. I said, you can't screw it out. Like if you have a problem.
Yeah.
I said, you and Kenny can't have sex and get over it. I said, you can't F it out. And he goes, you're right about that.
But you hit the nail on the head with communication. I mean, I think everybody will tell you that if you're not talking, and that's communication both ways. It's real hard to live in my house because most conversations revolve around me, but Tony has kind of gotten used to that over the years. So
yeah,
he ain't wrong, y'all.
Tony's a talker too, though.
Yeah,
with a glass of wine.
Just add a little.
She
add
sure
a glass.
is. She sure is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me tell you something. A little story about John Rich. I went to his house
In
years
Nashville?
ago. Yes.
The big one.
Yes.
House,
Is he still in there?
Yeah.
With the guitars all over the walls and the black toilet. He gave us a tour and everything. I went there. They sent me from the Blaze. They went down there and then we did a whole big like Grand Ole Opry tour, Nashville tour.
Mm-hmm.
And he invited us in. He showed us all around.
Mount Richmore.
He's still there, huh?
He's still there.
Chad and I did a episode of Humor Me.
Remember
at his
Humor
house.
Me? That was a fun show.
Remember that show? That was fun.
Yeah, talk about good old days. I mean, well, they were hard days, but they were good days.
Y'all did
was-
some living.
And now we have new sponsors like Road Armor. Road Armor, some of my good buddies over there, they offer American-made bumpers built on quality, protection, and style. You know, the beauty of those Road Armor, and I've got new Road Armor bumpers waiting for me over there in Dallas. I've got to go drop the truck off next week. They are the originator of the smooth steel bumper since 2000. Now, look, they're not just a replacement bumper. Not all of them are created equal. I want to encourage you to experience the difference. Road Armor is incredible. It's very, very, it's attractive on your truck or on your Jeep and just incredibly tough. There's no substitute for their bumpers. 100% made in the USA, Texas strong. All products are backed by their lifetime guarantee. They pride themselves in building bumpers of the highest quality, style, and protection that are suited to various lifestyles and interests, and they just look generally badass. Their meticulous attention to detail, advanced manufacturing technology, and the highest grade steel provides a technically superior product using the highest quality materials. Their mission is to produce products that are irreplaceable as equipment that protects what matters most inside and outside of your vehicle. So Road Armor, they support, hire, and mentor first responders and veterans of every caste. And by purchasing Road Armor products, you're not only buying a product focused on style and protection, but also helping to support truly life-changing organizations like one I'm a part of, the American Valor Foundation. They're passionate about giving back to our first responder and veteran communities and do so through charitable donations, in event integration, and giveaways on behalf of the organization. Go to roadarmor.com. Use promo code BLAZE50 to save 50% off your first purchase. roadarmor.com, promo code BLAZE50. Be right back. Oh, Lisa, I had to put the cowboy hat back on.
I saw you do a little switcheroo.
Yeah.
Why? You weren't
I don't
feeling
know, I
the
just didn't
baseball?
like it. I'm not in the mood to wear a baseball cap,
Yeah.
you know? My
Hey,
big
you're in
old
Texas.
head.
You got to wear a cowboy hat
Gotta
on
wear
the
my
Chad
cowboy
Prather
hat.
Show.
That's what I'm known for.
Yeah,
My
you are
beard
the
is so-
political cowboy.
I'm surprised
Beard
we
is
don't
so
have the
dark.
cab of a pickup truck sitting up on this little stage.
You know, that's what Glenn wanted to do. Whenever we were talking about building sets, Glenn had this idea of putting like a tractor and a truck and all that stuff on set. I was like, Glenn, how much space are we going to do?
I kind of liking that idea now. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Bigger space, our own
He's
space.
like, Chad, I have a vision.
Use
I
it-
have a vision.
Yeah. And you could walk around with a piece of wheat hanging out of your mouth, too. People really don't get me. Like when we got into doing, T-shirts and apparel and stuff and trying to brand things and we were putting together, performance decks and stuff like that to send out for media packets and stuff like that. We would hire these companies to try to create this stuff, and they would put the most campy BS together with some cartoon cowboy hat. You know, it was like so not on brand for who I am.
Right.
You know, I've always, first and foremost, I wear cowboy hats because I like cowboy hats. You know, I come from the Western culture. I love the Western culture, and that's just what I do. But I also fancy myself somewhat of an intelligent person who can string some words together and communicate effectively. And so when people think you're just some, oh, shucks,
Right.
you know, that's kind of like, that's the first thing you see, right? That's the first thing you think. And
Some of them all
They're like,
shucks cowboys.
Yeah, that hill.
They got their
that
stuff
hillbilly.
together. They got
That's
cattle.
right.
They got horses. They're driving dualies and pulling
a
trailers.
lot of cowboy wisdom and a lot of cowboy success out there.
Yeah.
These folks, that's like, I remember being, when we were doing an episode of It was back when I was with Ride Television, and we were doing. It was a travel television show. It was an equestrian lifestyle network.
Still airs sometimes.
It's on. My show still airs sometimes. Yeah, it's called It's My Backyard, and where we would just travel all over the country, going to these unique equestrian events. And we were up in Philadelphia, and we went. Of course, we would showcase the cities and things to eat, things to drink.
Why didn't you hire me then?
Right, and you were busy doing other things.
I know.
And we were in Philadelphia. And so, of course, you got to go to get a...
Did you go to Geno's or Pat's?
We went to Geno's.
Yes!
We went to both.
Okay.
But we were in Geno's.
Right.
Geno's let us go in there and make the steaks.
Okay, they took me on a tour there too, yes.
Yeah, so we got to film, making the deal. And this one guy, Philadelphia is not the nicest group of people, right? And so
smells great though. The city.
We're in there, and in like 3 days, I was like, why are we getting treated like absolute shit by everybody around here? And it finally hit me. My sound engineer, who was a lovely black young girl, she was wearing a Cowboy's hat the entire time we were there. The 3 or 4 days we were there, and I'm like, oh my God! No. It finally hit me on the last day. I'm like, you're wearing a Cowboy's hat. Well, anyway, we're in Geno's, and this one guy kept smarting off, just making comments out of the side of his mouth about me and Cowboy, blah blah blah. And I was like, after a while I was like, I'm gonna jack this dude's jaw, right? but I finally, the more level head emerged, and I said, let me explain something. I said, you don't like this cowboy hat, you don't like me, you don't like my persona, you don't like what I'm doing. I get that. I said, but let me share something that we have in common. I said, we're sitting here making steak sandwiches. I said, do you know who raised this cow that created this steak that gives you a job? Probably a guy that dresses exactly like me. So shut the up.
Yeah. Oh, he worked there?
He worked there.
Oh, my gosh.
Nowadays, he might be wearing a little Chinese hat.
Yeah. And you have to timestamp that. I said,
he mouthed it.
That's right. We didn't use a hard cuh.
Yeah. It doesn't count.
That's right.
When were cuss words invented? They've been around forever, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a show on Netflix, The History of Cussing.
You've talked about this before.
Yeah. Oh. See, I have a whole philosophy on cussing. My mother gets on her nerves. She's like, just don't cuss.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's all relative, Mom. I've told this story before. I was in Nigeria. And we were out in this, we were traveling, so we stayed in the closest thing to us was a game reserve, which is not a lot of African game like you would think is in Africa. Most of that's in East Africa. Nigeria is West Africa. And we were looking for, while we were there, we said, let's go out and see some animals, see if we could find some. So we're on the back of the truck, and we're riding around, we're looking for lions. And the lions in Nigeria are tiny. They're like coyotes there. They're just a little small. They're not big like in East Africa. It's so they used to be a British colony, right, in Nigeria. And so they still use a lot of British colloquialisms. And Patrick Osami, who was there in the truck with us, he's trying to help us find the lion, and he's as excited as we are. And he's Nigerian, right? And finally he sees some crap on the ground. And he goes, it is shit. Oh. Shit right there. It is shit on the ground. Lion shit. Well, we had all of these American missionaries who were on the truck too, and they were losing. They were like, oh, because here's this, quote, Christian Nigerian who's kept screaming, shit, shit, shit. Well, that's not a bad word in British colonies. Mm-hmm. That's just what they were,
It's not a bad word at my house either.
Exactly. So it's all relative.
Yes.
And that's why I always tell people, I said, it's cursing.
I didn't let the kids use it, but they heard it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! But that's just the kind of thing we worry. Those are the things we worry about. Did you know they set up a GoFundMe to pay off Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's mortgage?
Who is they?
A GoFundMe page set up to pay off the mortgage of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's $14.6 million California estate. Well, apparently, it's gone bust. They raised $110.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I'm
That's
surprised
what
they
would
raised
happen.
that much.
I think I'm going to start one just to build a house.
Anastasia Hansen, 56 years old, of California. She started the fundraising effort because she seriously felt sorry for the millionaire royal couple, after Harry publicly whined to Oprah Winfrey about being financially cut off from Buckingham Palace. Oh, people are so clueless. I can't go on.
And
with that.
did Harry not realize that was going to happen? Did he not think that through? Maybe if I cut ties, they're going to cut us off financially.
Yeah, he's still. You know what? He's still living off inheritance from Princess Diana, right? Millions and millions of dollars in his bank
They're
account.
okay. They're fine financially.
They'll be all right.
They'll be all right.
Meghan better watch it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meghan doesn't. There's not a chance in hell Meghan runs for president in 2024.
That's like I said. If you thought being a princess was too hard, you don't want to be president. UK man breaks stupid record for fastest time to drink a Capri Sun. He did it in 16.65 seconds. He gulped down the juice little packet thing.
16 seconds.
I think I could too.
That must be through the straw.
Of course.
Because I could shotgun it in 3 seconds.
I'm thinking I could break that record.
I think any of us could. I think Dolly, your dog, could do that.
Mark, I can't believe Candace didn't bring me a Capri Sun for this episode. I think I could break that record. I think I suck that fast.
Well, that's saying a lot.
You probably want it at room temperature so you don't get probably cold. It would hurt.
Have you seen how quick I can put down a frozen margarita?
Yeah, that's
Chief. I ain't worried about brain freezes.
Son. Yeah, 16. That's. I think I could do that too.
Yeah.
We should all come in on Monday and try and do it together and have Candace time us. I'll bring the Capri Suns because I got the kids who drink the Capri Suns.
You have them?
I will bring them.
All right, bring them. Don't bring me no apple juice. That gives me the runs.
I'll bring you the roaring waters.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, they've gotten fancy with the flavors, huh?
Yeah.
They got to name them something new every time.
Got to keep the sugar down.
They're going to come out with a needle-free COVID-19 vaccine. That's what's in the works, World Health Organization says. So if the needle's too much for you, 6 to 8 new immunizations may be ready for regulatory review by the end of the year. Some of which don't require needles, can be stored at room temperature. See, what I think they're going to have is eventually you're just going to have like nicotine patches, but it's going to be vaccine patches.
They just air inject them, right? You know, like you go through the line in the military and they go, psh, psh, psh.
Or maybe they'll just give it to you through some type of nasal spray or whatever.
Yeah, they're talking about oral and nasal administration. Skin patches. See, I was right.
You called it.
I haven't read this article. It's skin patches. I've said it over and over again. I'm like, they're eventually just going to have a patch that you put on.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the whole deal. And that'll be the new mask, right? You'll have to wear your little patch, and you can show your.
And you'll be able to, you won't be able to get into certain places until you show your
Scarlet
patch.
V. Your Scarlet V will be on it.
Yes. Or S for sheep.
Well, it's like Savannah Hernandez said, if you missed last night's episode, she said that is just the way of showing. The mask is a sign that you're still under their control. And that's what's going to happen. I'm so sick of people holding up their little COVID vaccination papers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop virtue signaling.
And can we stop making that trend? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, stop.
You know what? I'm going to start holding up my antibody positive test.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
When I went to the doctor on Tuesday, there was zero mention of COVID from any of the nurses or doctors or anything the entire time I was there. I did have to wear a mask, though, until I got into the room.
So people always ask me, obviously we've talked about this ad nauseum, is, what's my stance on vaccines? I'm pro-choice. If you want it, get it. If you don't feel like you need it, don't get it. But I'm against it being mandatory.
Are you getting it?
No.
Okay.
I have no need to get it.
I'm not going to get it.
I mean, I have no need to get it. If it comes to a point where I need to get it, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
But it's just going to keep changing. I mean, I'm going to have to go get it every year. It'll be like a flu shot at some point because it's just going to keep evolving, if you will. And I hate that word, but that's what's going to happen.
Mutating.
It's going to mutate. There's going to be all these kind of things. And then they'll come out with another strain. Listen, they've already seen what kind of power they can exercise over us. You think they're going to not keep coming up with shit to make that happen?
Wait till the big rollout of something, the next thing, and we'll be quicker to jump in line.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous, dude.
I bet you they're going to start making it so it's less invasive, easier for people to get if they don't want to get a shot. And then that way they're going to say, well, I mean, it's a stick of gum. Just chew it for 5 seconds and you're vaccinated. And that's how it's going to be.
Imagine, if you will, if they had taken the flu and turned avoiding the flu into a lifestyle choice. right? Because that's what they've done with COVID. They've turned it into a lifestyle. You have to demonstrate. Like now we're holding up our deal. We're wearing our masks. We've got designer masks. We're multi-masking, body condoms. I mean, all this stuff. It's turned into a lifestyle, and we're portraying that lifestyle. We never did that with the flu. You didn't walk around holding up your "I got a flu shot" deal.
Right.
People were like, "Why are you pumping that crap into your arm?" I mean, I did a video a year or two ago getting a flu shot, right? Because it was just good entertainment on social media. And, people lost their freaking mind. I can't believe you know what's in that thing. I was like, just get over it. Yeah. Just get over it.
Now, I'm all for, hookers having STD cards. They held those up,
What is wrong with you?
We went from vaccinations to STDs.
To his yellow papers in Vietnam.
Oh, gosh. I can't.
Wow. It's going to happen.
I got jokes. Come on.
Man, 23 charged in connection to deaths of 39 migrants found in UK truck. It's a sad, sad deal. 39 Vietnamese migrants. Back of truck in the UK in 2019. There were 10 teenagers, 2 of whom were as young as 15 years old.
That kind of stuff
They
happens.
suffocated in the back of a
way too often,
truck.
Even here in the U.S.
Yeah.
You see cases of that stuff happening.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. World's a crazy place, Lisa.
I know. I'm scared for my children. Like, if I had known this is how the world was going to be 9 years ago, I probably would have rethought my plans to have kids.
Really?
Well, it's just.
I don't think so.
Really though, I mean,
We want to procreate. I don't care if the atomic bomb could hit tomorrow, and we're still gonna go try to have babies.
I'm glad I have my kids, but I'm finding it harder and
You
harder.
can still give them up.
Does anybody want 2 kids? Yeah.
Send them over to the Powell's
Put them
house.
on one of those
You want to take them for a
coyotes.
weekend?
Put them on a coyote. Let them ride them wherever they go.
Hey, listen up, guys. You supported Trump, and now they're coming for you. The left will continue their campaign of censorship, repression, and cancel culture until every last voice of opposition has been crushed. They're backed by the media and some of the largest companies in the world. That's right. Big tech and the far left have formed an unholy alliance to track, censor, and spy on you. There's never been a more important time to protect your internet activity from bad actors, and that's why I urge you to get ExpressVPN. Everything you search for, watch, or click online can be tracked by big tech companies. They can then match your activity to your true identity using your device's unique IP address. When I switch on ExpressVPN with my computer or phone, not COVID, my IP address is masked by a secure VPN server, which makes it harder for websites to identify me. The ExpressVPN app also encrypts my network data to protect my sensitive information from being compromised. Plus, you can use ExpressVPN on up to 5 devices simultaneously, so your whole family stays safe with a single subscription. I love how easy it is to use. One click protects all your devices. That's why they're rated number one VPN by CNET and Wired. So stop handing over your data to big tech and all these far left enablers in the government. Defend your rights with the VPN I trust. Go to expressvpn.com/watchchad. That's expressvpn.com/watchchad. Get 3 extra free months. Go to expressvpn.com/watchchad. Do it today. Be right back. Joe Biden, he's just a hologram at this point. He launches Help Is Here tour.
He's just hollow.
Yeah, 3-minute Pennsylvania stop with almost no talk of the stimulus bill. Help Is Here tour of the nation, intended to promote his just signed $1.9 trillion, doesn't exist money, COVID-19 stimulus bill. But he hardly mentioned the bill on what was supposed to be the first leg of a victory lap.
With less than 10% of it's going towards actually stimulus programs.
Steve, do tell more. Do tell more, Steve.
They padded it with a bunch of infrastructure and
more help is on the way for real. Do you have questions for me at all? Biden asked. And the lady he was at Smith Flooring in Chester, PA.
Chester, PA.
But there was a lot of people showed up there.
Co-owner Kristen Smith said, "We don't have any questions, but we wanted to say thank you. We just want to kiss your ass." Not many people come out and stop here in Chester. You know why? I thought you got some flooring store.
He went there because it was nearby his house.
Exactly. He lives
And then
2 hours away in
spent the
Delaware.
night at his house.
Yeah.
Hadn't had a press briefing yet. That's,
It went unsaid that Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware is roughly a half-hour drive from the business.
There we go. Less than that.
Oh, yeah.
She was on the way. That's
His
exactly
fourth
why.
overnight trip home since taking office January 20th. What a piece of
Y'all,
garbage.
well, no, I don't have a problem with that because if you go play golf, do your business. If you take your trips, take your trips.
Still, though, I just compared to the travel
Oh my
that
gosh.
Trump did.
Trump was hitting like
I mean,
5
bam,
states
bam, bam.
a day.
He was all over these countries. I mean, he was
Doing press briefings almost daily.
I mean, the first thing Trump did was he went around and started meeting with world leaders. I mean, bam. And I mean, you got Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a hologram.
Joe Biden's going to, take bets on how many stops he's going to make this year.
I can't wait.
I
can't
say
wait
10.
next week.
I say no more than 10.
Biden spent part of his time reminiscing of his days as a high school athlete at nearby Catholic prep school Armchair Academy, and only one aspect of the bill was directly mentioned.
Wonder if he mentioned Scranton at all.
More than Lunch Pail Joe.
Scranton Scrappler.
But that's what Alzheimer patients do. They can remember like when they were 4, like it was yesterday.
He didn't know why.
But he doesn't know what he's talking about when he's on TV.
Yeah. So more than $120 billion allocated for K-12 schools. He said Barack was so modest. He didn't want to take, as he said, a victory lap. I kept saying, tell people what we did. He said, we don't have time. I'm not going to take a victory lap. We paid a price for it, ironically, for that humility, Biden said this month, previewing the tour. I'm sure he said that his humility cost Democrats politically. Well, it's because he knew he had a job to do. He was in there doing it. Didn't like the way he did it, but he did it. Oh, my gosh, I can't stand it. This whole thing. This whole stimulus thing. $1.9 trillion. Do you know how much money you spent how long trying to get through to the unemployment office today?
Oh, I mean, it's been literally 6.5 weeks of every day calling. And that's why I just got here a little while ago, because I was not getting off the phone. I love you all, but I was not going to get off because I was already connected and they had transferred me. So by the time the real person picked up, I was on the phone for an hour and 16 minutes.
Just got to keep hitting 0, 0, 0, 0.
Oh, no. I mean, but it's the, government run. So you don't get anywhere. God forbid, there's no easy way to get it through online. You can't do anything on a website. I will say, though, and Candace, is she here? No. I was going to say, I think a lot of women will agree that when it comes to customer service, I always have so much better luck when I'm talking to a man on the other line. I feel like women can be so awful to deal with. And I just feel like I got a good guy. He was so nice and he walked me through everything. I got logged in again. We made sure I got all my back payments. And I said, thank you, Charlie.
Just took you an hour and a half and 6 weeks of
It only took me an hour and a half
calling.
for Charlie to get on.
If you would have chose Espanol instead of English, you'd have got right there. And they are bilingual and they'll take care of you.
They would have wired me the money, I think, today. Directly into your pocket.
I just have to call my bank on a regular basis, and I would just go ahead and hit Espanol. It would hook me to San Antonio, bilingual, boom. Front of the line. You got to learn the tricks.
Charlie was from San Antonio. I asked him. I'm like, I know it's a stupid question, but it is the Texas unemployment. Where are you in Texas? He's like, San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make them lie like that. I mean, you know what? The government should run our health care.
Well, they should.
They should run our health care.
I mean, they're running our lives anyway, so why not just control all of it? No options. What were you going to say? You were going to crack a joke of some sort.
Yeah, I was. You are calling unemployment?
Well, I tried to get through to AT&T years ago, and hello, this is Luke. and then he put me on hold, and I got disconnected, and I called back, hello, this is Andrew. And I got put on hold, and I called the third time, and he was like, hello, this is Matthew. And I got put on hold. I'm serious, 3 times, got connected. So I called the 4th time wondering which disciple was going to answer this time, because I'd already had Luke, Andrew, and Matthew. And she goes, this is Shaniqua, how can I help you? I said, girl, I want to kiss your mouth right now. I did. I said, I want to kiss you.
That's right.
Shaniqua.
Yeah, Shaniqua.
She said, baby, you got to pay your bill.
Shaniqua, don't play.
She wasn't wrong. Because there was a snafu in the billing thing, and we had an outstanding deal. And she's like, baby, you got to pay your bill.
You're like, I've been trying to.
She said, that'll fix your problem. I said, well, I've been talking to Indonesia.
Matthew,
and I keep
Mark,
getting
Luke,
this.
and John didn't know what was happening.
I mean, I was going through the synoptic gospels at that point. Anyway. Morgan Stanley's requesting employees fulfill diversity quota in job application process. Forget if the person's qualified. It's all about the color of your skin. Our commitment to diversity and inclusion is demonstrated through our recruiting practices, most notably in the sourcing and interviewing of candidates. Are you black?
Could you imagine if they offered this course to recognize the whiteness, recognize the Caucasians?
Yeah.
Could you even? That would never happen.
I was taking a class years ago, and when you had to, as these stupid classes, and had to go around and tell a unique fact about yourself, and I was in the state of Georgia, and his redneck was sitting next to me, and I said, I met my wife in Nigeria, and he looks at me, he goes, is she black? I was like, yes, she is. She sure is. I love having a minority sex slave, as that moron said.
See, now if he said that today, he'd be canceled. Everything would be, his life would be damaged, ruined forever.
Mm-hmm. To still go back and get him.
To even assume.
Yeah. Is she black? I'm like, well, that's interesting that's the
your first question.
First question. Here's a slide from Morgan Stanley.
First question too,
in their training, their recruiting process. Employee, I know diversity is important, but we shouldn't have to lower our hiring standards in order to engage diverse candidates. Race, ethnicity bias. The comment falsely equates underrepresented talent. God, I want to make that longer than it needs to be. Let me start over. The comment falsely equates underrepresented talent with lowered standards. That's dumb.
It is. Don't lower the standards for any reason. These are the standards.
Right.
I don't care what color you are. You have to be able to do the job.
Well, let me just tell you, if you're doing the job and you're doing it through Zoom, they now have a Zoom escaper tool that gets you out of annoying work-related video calls. You can actually load this thing up, and it allows you to self-sabotage your audio stream, making your presence unbearable to others. So you just get off the meeting. Oh, my gosh. Hey, friends, what will you do if there's a sudden food shortage? What if we become like Venezuela? Could very well happen. The way things are going, the future doesn't look very good. I'm not wanting to be negative, but it's true. You know it, and I know it. That's why the smart thing for you to do is to stockpile high-quality emergency food that you can only get from My Patriot Supply, America's leader in survival food. Right now, you could save $50 off their popular 4-week food kit that gives you over 2,000 calories a day and will stay fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage. Go to preparewithchad.com. You'll get the emergency food you need before the next emergency. Your 4-week food kit will arrive discreetly at your door in just a few days. Now's the time to prepare for the unexpected. Preparewithchad.com. Go to preparewithchad.com. We'll be right back. So I'm looking at Instagram. Have you guys seen the little video here that of Joe Biden? He walks up to supposedly all the microphones there for a little press briefer, whatever, and his hand goes through the microphones because it's green screened. The microphones aren't really there. They're not. His hand goes through them.
Right.
I mean, you can't lie. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's obviously edited. You can see that the microphones are green screened in there. They're edited into that video.
I can't even react to this guy anymore. I really am so desensitized to all the stuff that's going on with Joe Biden. I have no reactions left. I can't, because it's absurd that he is our president.
He's still in a basement, y'all. I've been saying that. All those White House meetings he was having from the Oval Office, that wasn't the Oval Office.
All you got to do, listen. Talk about the Zoom escaper. I mean, I'm telling you, this whole thing, we had to have a Zoom president. We had to have a guy who goes to Chester, PA, and talks about school stimulus for 3 minutes and says, anybody got any questions, any at all? No, we just want to kiss your ass.
And then walks through a
ridiculous.
green screen.
Well, it's easy when you control the media. And like USA Today, they made this claim in a recent article where they said that black women die every day at the hands of police.
How about black babies that die every day?
At the hands of black mamas.
Yeah.
But that's a lie. Only 2 black women were shot and killed by police in 2020. That was Breonna Taylor and Helen Jones in Phoenix, right? And it happened the other day in Nashville when he tased the lady. And did y'all see that article or that video?
Was that while I was there?
No, the chest cam. Right around that time.
A body cam?
It was a body cam.
So he
footage.
tasered her.
Well, he pulled the car over because the car belonged to a man that had 5 outstanding warrants.
Okay, so that's a problem.
She was driving it.
So most likely a felony stop.
Asked her to get out, and he looked in her bag and found a white powder substance in a little baggie. And she started to go back to the car. He told her not to, told her to stop. She got in the car. He wound up having to tase her. She reached and grabbed a gun, and she shot him. He shot her. She died. And body cam footage right there on the whole thing. So technically, in the last year,
no, wait, the cop was white.
Yeah.
So now, are we going to make this a big deal? And he's going to go on trial.
We'll see. Nah.
No, that won't because
I would hope not because of the body cam.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't fit the narrative totally.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a sad situation. You don't want to see anybody get shot
but it
and
comes
killed,
back to
but
just resist
do
arrest.
what the
just
police
do what the
officer
freaking cop says, and you
it's-
don't get shot.
And I haven't seen it, and I don't know the details, but it does sound like he let her fire first.
Well,
so I'm gonna have to go watch that. Look it up.
got to watch it. You can find it at blaze.com. Theblaze.com. Yes, you
I
can.
spell it B-L-A-Z-E.
B-L-A-Z-E. Oh, Steve, it's Thursday. You know where we're going to be tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're gonna be in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Shawnee, Oklahoma.
I hear tell there's going to be some
How far is
VIP tickets for sale at the merch table. That is for an after party.
If you come to the show in Shawnee, either tomorrow night or Saturday night, we're going to have an after party as well at a local hotspot. And if you want to attend said after party, we'll sell some VIP tickets to it. And you can come hang with me and Party Foul Steve and the Texas legend Steve Helms and Bobcat Ben McPherson on the fiddle. We're going to have a party.
It's going to be like a ragamuffins, like post.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have
party?
a ragamuffin show. We're going to do comedy. We're going to do music. We're doing more and more stuff with the ragamuffins. You got to get our new single, What Might Have Been. It is out there. And we got an original song that we did called The Goodbyes Are Gone. And it wrote that sucker, me, Steve Helms, and Rob Redwine's good little waltz songs. Good. Yeah.
Oh.
And people keep saying, where's my ragamuffin videos? Well, you just got to get on social media and look for them. I haven't been able to personally post on 3 of my business pages for 2 months now because they can't verify my identity. So Allison has to post, or the Blaze has to post, and things like that. Crazy stuff. But we're putting the ragamuffins videos out there. Songs from the sofa.
Hi, everybody. People don't understand, though, since you're not posting. I mean, I think people expect you to post as soon as you post it, because as soon as it goes on Instagram, I think they're all assuming it's going to go to Facebook. But because you can't have access to it, and obviously Allison's a mom and she's doing 100 other things, people got stuff going on, but it eventually gets to your pages. Yeah. But really, your first look would be on Instagram, because you personally post them to Instagram.
I post them to Instagram, yeah. And I will put them on my personal page, which you can follow. Even if you send me a friend request, I can't accept it because they limit me.
You're so popular, you've hit the max amount of friends.
I love it when you tell people that, and that's their response. Okay, Mr. Popular. Like, I didn't make the rules. You ask me why I can't accept your friend request. That's why.
Yeah.
I am freaking popular.
I'm so.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm important.
We actually charge money for you to come hang out with us at the restaurant after the show.
I am not apologizing for it.
That's right. It's called capitalism.
People pay it.
Yeah.
I love it when people complain about, okay, you're just a huckster that sells T-shirts and now you're going to run for governor.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I mean, I have to make a living somehow because let me tell you exactly how much money I make off of Facebook videos. Goose egg.
All right.
Goose egg. Period. That's it. Goose egg. 6 years now. We've been putting video content out there on social media for the lump sum of $0 coming in. We have to support ourselves some way. That's why we get our butts in the truck or on the bus or on a plane, and we go to Shawnee, Oklahoma, and we do live shows, and we hang out with people. That's what we do, and we appreciate the support. Don't get me wrong. We do appreciate the support. I commented yesterday morning on Facebook. I said, it really hurts my feelings when people make fun of me for selling T-shirts on my website. I said, so hurt my feelings by using this promo code.
Did you see my comment in that feed?
I didn't see it.
I said, please don't take that 10% out of my pay. I got rent due.
Well, and it's funny because people are like, well, you should take the proceeds of that and fund the border wall and finish it. No, we're going to take the proceeds of it and put my kids through college.
Exactly.
I have a family that likes to eat, and believe it or not, they like stuff like clothing and shoes.
Yeah,
and it's funny.
I have kids to support.
You have a couple employees that like
we
the
have
same
a few
thing.
families that like to eat as well, and it's just funny. Like we have an apparel business. That's what we do.
Like, how about you go to the border and maybe you start building the wall? All you dumb trolls sitting here wasting all the time. Yeah.
Incels.
No. I feel so bad for your kids.
Yeah.
Really?
They don't have kids. They can't find anybody to have
sex
with them.
You are a kid. You're probably in your basement getting an allowance from your parent.
They can't find anybody to have sex with them. They don't have any kids.
And you're confused.
That's my new favorite word, Candace, incel. Then once I learned what it meant, involuntary celibate, I didn't know what it was.
I love that.
Yeah. Some naked kid on a lawn chair in the basement. We'll be right back.
Get incels.
Yeah! Go to watchchad.com. That's where you can get all the information for upcoming shows. We have a lot of upcoming shows, as a matter of fact. We're going to be in Shawnee the next 2 nights, and then we're going to be Arlington Music Hall.
Oh, I can't wait.
Arlington, Texas on June 4th. We're going to be back in Everett, Washington again, the birthplace of a man known as Glenn Beck. Everett, Washington. He goes, how do you know that about me? I'm like, I know everything about you, Glenn.
It's in the Book of Mormon. You can read it. Page 13.
It's in the Pearl of Great Price.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go to watchchad.com. Tons of shows coming up. Tons of shows. Going to be down in Seabrook, Texas. Going to be in Beaumont, Texas. Going to be in Abilene. Going to be in Roswell, New Mexico. We're bouncing around. If you're opening up, that's where we're going to. We're going to be, I think right now we're going to be in Memphis, Tennessee on April 1st, but nobody's buying tickets. What's going on, Memphis?
Come on, rep.
They're scared to come out.
Let me tell you what's going on. The promoters aren't promoting the show. We're doing it all. And my agent's losing his mind. Y'all got to promote. Oh, my God, you got to promote. You got to promote more stuff. And I'm like, hey, Willie, we're right here promoting. We're promoting right now.
Willie.
We're promoting the show. Come on, Arkansas. Come on, Tennessee.
How much promotion do you – you're literally on the road every single weekend.
Too. Fort Smith and El Dorado.
Arkansas.
Yeah. Okay.
But they got to buy the tickets.
Yep.
You do that by going to watchchad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is. For the Top 40 Countdown, I'm Casey Kasem. We'll talk to you next time. God bless you. Bye.